Okay, with Right Response Ministries, we are seeing the beginnings of a cult. This is a cult group that is being started here by Right Response, and you can see in the chat, I was providing some pushback against what Joel Webbin and Wes Todd were saying. Charlie Kirk was shot, etc., etc. Our ministry is being attacked, therefore give us money. That was basically their point. You can see in the chat here this person named Costin, and I was Right Response will be instruments of the Antichrist for sure. This Christian nationalism, that this brand of Christian nationalism, what Dr. James White has called sacralism, is really unbelief. It is unbelief in sola gratia, replacing sola gratia with the state. And they actually have a video, Right Response, this cult, and their sycophantic followers. But Right Response has a video called How the State Saved the Church. How the state saved the church. Now, I've studied a little bit about soteriology, and I have never found the state to be a part of the Ordo Salutis. Never saw the state as being a part of the Ordo Salutis. The state has its purview and authority, but it's not in the Ordo Salutis, the order of salvation. Okay? So blasphemous to say that this how the state saved the church. But notice this person, Costin. Notice this. Who let the Jew in chat at Ryan Gallmeyer? Who let the Jew in chat? So apparently they're calling me a Jew or something like that. Now, I'm German Irish. Okay, there's probably a bunch of other stuff mixed in there, and maybe there's like 0.08% Jewish, probably in a lot of us that we don't know. But German and Irish is what I am primarily, and my last name is very German. Okay, last name is very German. But further, this is at about 51:13 into this video about the Charlie Kirk assassination murder. I'm going to go a little bit further into about the 56-minute mark. Okay. About the 56-minute mark. And notice what this other person says. Let's see here. A little bit further. There you go. Blood-based. Blood-based gave about $50 to the ministry of this new cult at Right Response, and said, notice, blood-based, Ryan Gallmeyer, I just noticed your conspicuously Jewish surname. Jewish surname. No, it is German. It is German. So, like Martin Luther, I'm from Germanic descent. A barbarian descended from barbarians and do all things barbarously, but a Christian by the grace of God alone, sola gratia, which is what Martin Luther's book, The Bondage of the Will, is really all about. It's about sola gratia. It's not about the bondage of the human will. That's secondary. That's ancillary compared to Martin Luther's defense of sola gratia. But let's just do a little bit of historical study and possibly what I am descended from. Let's go all the way back to the Roman Empire. So here is my paper on What Rough Beasts and the Antichrist, my exposition, a little bit of exposition of Daniel chapter 7. So you have 4 beasts that rise up out of the sea, the Babylonian, followed by the Medo-Persian, followed by the Grecian, and then finally the Roman Empire. When the Roman Empire falls in the 5th century AD, the 10 horns symbolize the 10 tribal kingdoms that made up the Roman Empire after its fall in 476 AD. Ostrogoths, Burgundians, Vandals, Heruli, Visigoths, Suevi, Alemanni. Focus on the Alemanni. Those were Germanic peoples. The Franks, Saxons, Lombards. Others, the Vandals, were also Germanic, but the Alemanni. What's interesting is if you go to, watch this. English to French. The French do not call Germany, Germany. They call it Alemannia. You know why? Because the French also go back to the ancient Roman Empire. So did the Alemanni people. And to this very day in the French language, being a Romance language, Latin-derived language, they don't call it Germany. They call it Alemannia. Alemannia. That's because of the Alemanni people. going all the way back to the ancient Roman Empire. They were heathens. They were barbarians. I'm a barbarian, descended from barbarians, and do all things barbarously, but a Christian by the grace of God alone. I'm simply echoing what Martin Luther said. So I steal that from Martin Luther. I'm a barbarian and I do all things barbarously. Anyway, so sycophantic followers over at Right Response saying conspicuously Jewish surname. First of all, what difference would that make anyway? What difference would that make? Even if I was Jewish, I'm still a Christian. You see? Sycophantic followers. This is the makings of a cult. Denying sola gratia and trying to replace sola gratia with the state. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Talk to you soon, Lord willing. Soli Deo Gloria.